Alright, we were in chapter 9 of 22. What happened last? Oh yeah, this thing happened last. All quests have been completed, a curse has been nullified, statues have been banished forever. Not nearly as unsanitary, oh yeah. I mean, there was some pissing involved early on, but that was, you know, if it's like one piss joke, it's funny, but if it's like 3 and then also a poop joke, it's kind of rough. Either way, too difficult. Go online and search for walkthrough. This is complete bullshit. You have no idea what to do with this stupid mesh or how to solve this crisis. You resolve to find some help. Next. Oh, game facts. So it looks familiar. There's some, but it's not the main joke. Yeah, exactly. FAQ walkthrough. Axel, Chaos Demon. We need to poop. Archbishop 42. Wow. Problem Sleuth, open one of the walkthroughs. Trevor makes Problem Sleuth look like Einstein. Yeah, that's so true. Oh god, Problem Sleuth. A Mispaint Adventures walkthrough by Andrew Hussey. Started on August 13, 2008. Completed on email andrewhussey@gmail.com. I don't think this thing exists anymore. Table of contents. For a second, oh my god, for a second I thought it was a roast kind of thing. I was just like, you know, I didn't look at the sidebar. I didn't look at the sidebar for a second. I was fearing a roast kind of thing. I was just like, oh, I'm so whatever. Introduction. So okay, this is the third MS Paint adventure called Problem Sleuth, and it's a little, a lot longer than the other like Bart question chill break. And it's also harder to solve less puzzles, horrible lugs, and nervous dreams just safe than ever. So hang in there and we'll go through the adventure together. It will take a lot of imagination and some yes, just a little bit of poker to do. True version history. As with every other guide that I've wrote, this guide is my own property. I happily made this for all to enjoy and to use, and all that I ask is that if you're planning on using this for your site, then just ask me for permission, okay? I mean, easy to get along with, and telling you don't mind it so long as you ask for my permission first. Don't go thinking, oh, he'll never say okay, let's just rip the guide and post it anyways, because that's a flawed way of thinking. Just give it a shot sometime and you may be surprised. My email box is always open. Time to get started with the adventure at hand. 3 items. Key. Description. You're quite sure there's never ever been a key on your desk, and there never will be. Location. On Problem Sleuth's desk. Steal from Borfrax, Flufflu, Jelly, Demongeist. Use with handgun bullets, max 6. Alchemy guide, 3 candy corn, plus 1 rubber tube, plus 2 elf hat equals 1 key. 1 key plus 8 dropped. Weasel snot. Ugh. Plus 1 code machine equals 1 Tootsie Roll. Note, sells for 17 spoon duelings. Hussy words. Okay. Tuba. Description. The filthiest horn you've ever seen. You'd sooner press your blowhole to the dick of a rowdy leper. What? Location. Problem Sleuth's back room, plus an elf princess's tower. Steal from level 86 Earl Molasses Fats Wraith. Use with horn polish, Fats painting. Lips, plus melody, plus soul. Alchemy guide. 8 strands piano wire, plus 6 glass shards, plus 1 romance novel, equals 1 tuba. Tuba plus 1 couch cushion, plus 1 imaginary gramophone, equals 1 sacred urn. Note, sells for 0 spondulix. 200 if properly polished. Salted melon. Description. Lusted after by hawk kind, nurtured protectively by Weasel Nation, luscious mouth-watering contraband. Diplomatic quagmire. Location. Weasel Orchard, under NB's bed, Nervous Broad's bed, behind speakeasy counter in the clown cottage. Inside Problem Sleuth's, I guess? Is it PS? Or Pickle? No. Wait. No, the Pickle's Inspector. PS's reel-to-reel machine inside Starsky Buzz above Dumb Raider and PS's back room. Behind Hot Sauce still in Dumpster Imaginary Alley. Spondulix is 19th century slang for money or cash. Interesting. Where was I? In Dumpster Imaginary Alley, in crawl space between HDs and NBs rooms. Steal from Weasels, Weasel King, Morphle Dryax's Bone Guard Mound, Yusuf Mustard, a little horseradish, Eager Hog. Alchemy Guide 1 machine gun plus 10,000 Pez equals 1 salted melon. 10 salted melon plus 1 curtain rod plus 1 brass knuckle equals 1 refulgent horn. Now it sells with 3 spondulix. Chipotle pepper. Description: hottest pepper this side of the Rio Grande. Better have a strong stomach capacity before braving this vegetable. Location: under a stick's head. Steal from a stick. Used with hot sauce still. Alchemy Guide. PS, scroll down a ways. Amazing. I love the ASCII art. Here's a complete walkthrough of the game from beginning to end. The first room. Oh no, you're trapped. Yes, that's right. Get used to it. Happens a lot in this game. Anyway, so you're going to want to start messing around with a lot of stupid and useless sounding commands to waste as much time as possible and get nowhere. But I can help you get through some of this faster by saving you some time, but I will still be thorough so you don't miss anything. Okay, here we go. Command: quickly retrieve arms from safe. Try not to be fooled by the fact that the guy does not have arms. This will happen a lot in the game. He'll say, "Where's his arms?" But don't worry, he has them. It's just you can see them usually. Try to resist asking where his arms are. Command: retrieve your gun. There are dames to be rescued. Exclamation point. There's your gun sitting on your desk. It looks really tempting to pick up and shoot, but wait, not so fast. There is this weird glitch in the game. It happens a lot, you'll see. It turns into a key. Okay, next. Let's see if we can do something about that door. Yes, search for diplomacy. Sleuth diplomacy. Description: allows you to acquaint recipient with your brand of diplomacy. Required character rating: Dapper Swain. Elf tiers 1, Weasel's not 0, Hog Slop, Pie Filling, Attack Power 33, Brutal Affront 2%, Savage Upbraid 1.3%. Then there's also Summon Henry Clay. Description: the great compromiser wheels and deals on your behalf for a fee. Required character rating: Picaroon's Scourge. God. Ugh! Fucking these words. Sorry, my brain. It's really warm, and this is not helping my brain. Okay. Elf tiers, Weasel's not 1, Hawk Slop 0, Pie Filling free, Attack Power nothing. Spondylix levied 3,500. And there's a pulchritude. Description: righteous, fire of charisma, consumes recipient, host, and all who surround an escaping cyclone of personal charm. Required character rating: groom to the Haber Dasher's daughter. Elf tiers 36. That's a lot of elf tiers. Weasel's not 12. Hawkslop 18. Pie Filling 29. Attack Power 480,000. Wow. Dire animad version 100%. Keep searching. Like we had this before. Cheat code 1328. This is for the hard part with 4 kingdoms that involves every trick of diplomacy you've learned unto this point. The kingdoms are not getting along, so Problem Sleuth has to negotiate a solution. See part 54.3 in walkthrough for this. Also make sure you 54.3. Also make sure you've sharpened the tetrix of the Arbiter and have obtained the ink of Squid Pro Quo. It will really help. People complain that it's basically impossible, but personally I like to just use the allegiance mesh and get through it and not cheat. But if you just don't have the time, you can use this code to get past it. To e blah blah, yeah, we've seen game codes before. Print the cheat code. The dot matrix printer prints out your code. The printer is printing. That is not very realistic. They usually just give you an error message and don't do shit. AD, go downstairs and check out swimming pool. It is a luxurious above ground pool. It looks refreshing. It also appears to have a jacuzzi setting. AD, toss Ferruginous horn into pool. Splash! Not taking any chances, you toss the horn in before going for a dip. Something comes out of the manhole over there. Other AD, go down the street, to street and grab horn. Oh, big feet. You put the Ferruginous horn in your inventory. AD, go back up, then go down to office for other horns. Elevator. Oh. Everything's what there. Oh. Oh yeah, chaos. A lot of shit happened. You take the polished horn and the burnished horn from your office. Go to hot sauce still. So much walking. And I have to remember where we are right now. Wait, this... Yeah, this is like the image from PI's room. Yeah. There's a skull! Or a skull. Do you need that one? I don't remember. It's sort of a pain in the ass getting around this place. Yeah. And it's also not like we like get a shortcut that the character is there already, but no, it's like an actual point and click thing. You actually have to like move from room to room. Make 5 alarm hot sauce. You deposit the polished horn, the burnished horn, and the ferruginous horn into the still hatch. You retrieve the chipotle pepper from your hat and put that in as well. It will be a little while before it is ready. HD, go through mirror to look for NB. You turn the key and enter the portal. The small A stick follows you through. The candy mecha walks out the door for some reason. Next. Oh. You're surprised to find yourself as a giant hysterical dame. It causes you to feel slightly more hysterical. Small A stick is now a normal sized A stick. I guess it's good. Activate jacuzzi setting on pool. Bubble, 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 bubble. The pool begins to bubble vigorously. Something appears in the sky above the manhole. Investigate the portal nervously. Oh shit. Gonna be 3 big ladies. Or whatever they are. MK. Retrieve arms from dollhouse. You've already got arms, shit for brains. Grab brass knuckles. I'm quite sure there are no brass knuckles on your desk. That space has clearly been reserved for the Megaton key. Get cheat code from printer. You retrieve the cheat code. Go to control room PI. There's a big mess in here. It looks like there was a fun puzzle that you would have really enjoyed solving. Especially that Sudoku up there. Alas, to your eye, it has already been solved perfectly. It looks like your candy corn liquored up imaginary self is floating out there. You wonder what he wants. Mops the kingpin. Imaginary PI. Combat operandi. Temporal repleximile. I remember it. I remember. You split into 2 pickle inspectors. One of them disappears as you pass the other into the future. No, my time shenanigans too. Oh god. Okay. What's in there? What's in there? We need more, please. You appear in the past and enter the window to find a stick struggling to solve a difficult puzzle. You think you could probably take a crack at it. In particular, that Sudoku is tickling your puzzle bone. Solve the Sudoku. Ah, okay. That makes sense now, I guess. Can you even say something like it makes sense in like connection to something like Problem Sleuth or something? Okay. 1, 2, 5, 7. Why am I looking at the Sudoku? Absolute perfection. The rest of this puzzle should be a breeze. Beautiful dream girls. Pew 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 pew. Impolite. There's a weasel up there. A self-portrait, I guess. Next. In a little while, you solve the rest of the puzzle, blowing yourself up in the process. The physical world can no longer sustain your imaginary body. This is getting kind of confusing, man. Godhead, pickle inspector. You should just relax and have fun and not worry too much about it. But if you need a refresher on what's actually going on with all these character duplicates and time-bending shenanigans, he offers to scoop. There's still only one Problem Sleuth, who's often some enchanted land sifting through political crisis. Shit, we now even get a fucking summary and stuff. There's one real pickle inspector and there were 8 imaginary pickle inspectors. All but 2 of them were killed and 1 became GPI. The other one just split into 2 and one of those just went back in time and died. The other one went into the future, possibly to reappear sometime later. This means there's now 1 real pickle inspector in the present and 1 imaginary one in the future. A recap! There are 3 ace dicks for the following reasons. PS, AD, and PI each have a lady counterpart in accordance with deep-seated mythology that dictates that any man secretly wishes to have sex with a female version of himself. Free Alvin and the Chipmunks, Mickey/Minnie. HD is PS's counterpart and B is PI's, while AD is his own counterpart because he has a very poor imagination, so that's one duplicate AD, the one with the wig/helmet. Also, a while ago, AD used a game code to restore an earlier state in the game. That earlier version of AD went through the storefront and out the music box and became small AD. Meanwhile, the present AD went about his business in the present. That makes 3 ace dicks, the normal one, the small one with the skull, though now normal size, and a girl one who is not actually a girl. See? How hard was that? Okay, got it. PI and the code. Pickle Inspector in the present enters the cheat code. Reality bends around you. You feel as if you're about to skip a lot of really difficult and boring parts of the game. Thank God. Successful political negotiation! Non-binary ace stick. Woohoo! Problem Sleuth has planned in a court among the 4 kingdoms, parades, choke rural hamlets, statues erect, peace prevails. P.S. View terms of treaty with a dope treaty viewer. Oh. Treaty sections. Articles 1 to 26, the Covenant of the League of Kingdoms. Then boundaries of melon orcharding. Political clauses for muddy wallow lands. Clown rights and interests outside pie-filling wains. Military, naval, and air clauses. Prisoners of war and graves. Penalties. Reparations. Elf egg clauses. Porcine dignity clauses and rump sovereignty. Aerial navigation. Ports. Weasel snowways and filling pipelines. Labor, egg harvesting, produce cultivation, procedure and motion for cessation of elf tears, guarantees, slapping caveats, and miscellaneous provisions. Oh God. Articles 1 to 26, through 26. The Covenant of the League of Kingdoms. The high contracted parties, in order to promote international cooperation and to achieve international peace and security, by the acceptance of obligations not to resort to war, by the prescription of open, just, and honorable relations between kingdoms. I feel like I'm fucking reading a Cancri dialogue, not because of the content, but because of bullshit that I technically do not need to read, but I still am gonna read because I'm gonna 100% this. Okay, Where was I? Just an honorable relations between kingdoms by the firm establishment of the understanding of international law as the actual rule of conduct among governments, and by the maintenance of justice and scrupulous respect for all treaty obligations in the dealings of organized peoples with one another. Agreed to this Covenant of the League of Kingdoms. Article 1. The original member of the League of Kingdoms shall be those of the signatories which are named in the annex to this covenant, and also such of those other states named in the annex as shall accede without reservation to this covenant. Such accession shall be effected by a declaration deposited with the Clown Secretariat within 2 months of the coming into force of the covenant notice, and with conscription of 4,000 liters of pie filling to the Secretariat from state's share of mutual filling reserve, subject to approvals and authored witness of the hog prothonotari's snout stamp. Any full self-governing state, dominion, or colony not named in the annex may become a member of the League if its admission is agreed by 2/3 of the assembly, provided that it shall give effective guarantees of its sincere intention and effects regularly audited emoluments to the Weasel King in increments of acceptably commuted egg collateral. See Fair Egg Act, Article 251. Any member of the League may, after 2 years' notice of its intention to do, withdraw from the League, provided that all its international obligations fulfilled at the time of its withdrawal, and its internationally regulated orcharding militias responsibly disbanded at the oversight of the Assistant Weasel Actuary. This was one sentence. No, two. There's a period here. I lied. Article 2. The action of the League under this covenant shall be effected through the instrumentality of an assembly and of a council, with a permanent clown secretariat. Oh god, my eyes hurt. No, few articles 248 to the no. I I'm still gonna. I wanna go home. Part 9. Article 248. Subject to such exceptions as the Elven Reparation Commission may approve, a first charge upon all the aviary assets and revenues of the Weaselig Empire and its constituent states shall be the cost of reparation and all other costs arising under the present treaty or any treaties or agreements supplementary thereto. Arrangements for cessation of hostility concluded between Weaselig and the Allied and associated powers during the armistice or its extensions shall hold contingent to the terms of commuted egg collateral, whereby agreed upon substitution eggs shall back currency and comprehensive fiscal reserve of assembly under this covenant. Up to May 1st, 2009, the Weaselig government shall not export or dispose of and shall forbid the export or disposal of elf eggs without the previous approval of the Allied and associated powers acting through the Elven Reparation Commission chaired by the presiding elf apparatchik. Article 249. There shall be paid by the Weaselig government the total cost of all armies of the Allied and associated governments in occupied Weaselig territory from the date of the signature of the armistice of November 11th, 2007, including the keep of men and beasts, lodging and billeting, pay and allowances, salaries and wages, bedding, heating, lighting, clothing, equipment, harness and saddlery, armament and rolling stock, rump ointment, elven nesting supplies, such as dry detritus, kindling, bagot bundles, fastened down in hogslop, brokered conciliation among hogslop suppliers, and elven resellers in reparation of trade routes, and in general the cost of all administrative or technical services, the working of which is necessary for the Articles 214 to 26. Section 1. Prisoners of war. Article 214. The repatriation of prisoners of war in interned civilians shall take place as soon as possible after the coming into force of the present treaty and shall be carried out with the greatest rapidity. Article 215. The repatriation of Weaselig prisoners of war and interned civilians shall, in accordance with Article 214, be carried out by a commission composed of representatives of the Allied and associated powers. The commission shall repatriate citizens as accorded by the government's repatriation mandates. Covenants, dignity clauses shall specify. See Porker and dignity clauses of an agitation normalization procedures under the Tier Preservation Act, moratorium on Baker's rights violations as itemized in appendices drafted in accordance. The Harlequin Ennoblement Trust and all mandates whose actionable leverage shall be impacted through the updated Weaselig dossier, citing the Mellon org charters or charters Protected Sovereignty Act, Section 2, Graves. Okay, one more. Articles 2654 through 312. Poor kind dignity clauses and rump sovereignty. Part 10, Section 1. Hindquarters regulations, duties and restrictions. Article 264. Colony Kingdom and affiliated states undertake tenet of universally upheld signatory doctrine inscribing this truth: one and all rumps shall be regarded as sovereign and violable territory, which, if breached through aggressive instrument of unwelcome slap, spank, or such mischievous interface between palm and tender portion as outlined clearly, see Swine Decency Annex within drafted pork harassment compendium, this body shall be held in breach of this treaty's contractual bond. Article 265. Signatures shall recognize to the Clown Kingdom's inalienable right to satisfy slapping requirements and shall agree to strict concessions accommodating allies' rump-driven economy and culture in satisfaction of each 112 rump surrogate acts, and appointed hog procurators shall select no fewer than 100 hogs who shall serve as rump surrogate at rotated intervals of 7 months. A selection of suitable soft slapping gloves shall be presented to the procurator for approval and must be worn in oversight by a designated elf or can't read that. The kingdom will not maintain or impose any prohibition. Okay, I did it. Okay, looks good. Present to His Highness. Jesus. You salute my dedication. If I want to 100% something, I'm gonna do it. Okay. His Majesty approves. The treaty is ratified by royal decree. All is well. Reap spoils of diplomatic triumph. Victorious moment! Problem Sleuth gained a level. Imagination plus 38. Pulchritude plus 1070. Whim plus 10. Problem Sleuth excelled to new rating. Gutsy customer. Yeah, gutsy customer. Problem Sleuth accrued battle technique level 10 sleuth diplomacy. Problem Sleuth accrued battle technique fair shake. Problem Sleuth gained a level. Imagination plus 45. Pulchritude plus 4520. Whim plus 13. Problem Sleuth excelled to new rating. Groom to the haberdasher's daughter. Accrued battle technique brass tacks and combat operandi sub pulchritude. The king dropped artifacts. 1 royal chemistry set containing 100 drops of elf tears, 100 drops of weasel snot, 100 drops of hawkslop, and 100 drops of pie filling. 1 munitions bag containing 1,000 rounds of handgun ammo, Tommy gun ammo, machine gun ammo, 1 battery pack, and 1 extension cord. Next. Just appears. All is well. Take skull slot. You head for the skull slots, but along the way, to save time, you just drop it through the skylight for Problem Sleuth to pick it up. Problem Sleuth eyes his own skull with unease. You wonder why the skull seems so much smaller than your own head, but you're not about to get hung up on that detail. It's all just a lot of meat around that. Add skulls to inventory. You pick up the skull along with other stuff lying around, including the Tommy gun and the skylight, because hey, you might as well. You load the Tommy gun to capacity using the munitions bag. You plug the skylight into the battery pack. Make a crude pass at NB. MK. You subject the skittish Prohibition-era flapper to your vulgar overtures, making a number of unseemly references to her seville set of glad rags and swanky pair of gams. You suggest to know in certain terms she's the berries and the bee's knees all in one. The advances go over like a lead balloon. Next. Enraged by the chilly reception, you give the gal a good shiner and remind her that there's still plenty of room on Ladies of the Night Island. Hysterical dame is not pleased. It's the mouth. It's the Yankee mouth. It's the Hysterical dame is not pleased by Mops the Kingpin's treatment of her housemaid. The brass knuckles are so heavy the desk breaks in half under the extreme weight. Lil AD ran into MK's dollhouse. You've chugged around with that pool enough. It's time for action. You grab your romance novel and your box of chocolates and gear the fuck up for some hardcore fisticuffs. I go through clown bust door. You go through the door once guarded by the clown bust. Oh shit, it's a strange back room. There's an open safe. Violent noises are coming from that room. Check it out. Oh no. Horse feathers. These bear cats have claws. Mops the Kingpin takes no damage and remains impervious to all physical attacks. P.S. Take skulls to slot. All 3 skulls are in the appropriate slots. The double doors are unlocked. P.I. Open what appears to be a cruise ship cruise ship portholes. What? I love P.I. P.I. is such a mood. It's hard to see through the portholes. They do not appear to be receiving any power. MK wield brass knuckles. Uh-oh. The Megaton key is too heavy to lift at your current whim level. MK battle technique. Running numbers. Oh. Whim. You roll the dice. As luck would have it, your whim gauge maxes out. MK, aggress. Oh no! Historical Dame! Also, small mech. Historical Dame is down for the count. Oh no! Let's finalize. Candy Mecha, aggress. The small mecha releases a confectionery barrage. Lobster Kingpin takes a tasty brunt of it in his pie hole. Next. Lobster Kingpin's blood sugar elevates slightly, making him briefly susceptible to physical attacks. Nervous Broad deals a blow for minor damage. Yeah, that's not a lot. I guess you have to feed him more sugar. Enraged, Mobster Kingpin picks up the dollhouse and gets rid of it. The door is blocked from the other side, so he has no choice but to throw it through the window. With quick thinking, the candy mecha jumps into the pool first. Ooh. There's the mecha. It's big again. Very big. Wait. Here's the window. The mecha lands hard on the street, causing major damage to surrounding buildings. Oh yeah. The office window is knocked loose and to the street below. The skylight window also appears to have loosened from the concrete. MK, the dollhouse flies away. Lands on mecha. The dollhouse tumbles through the sky. It lands on a candy mecha. AD, try and battle through pool portal. Final boss. We're here for two things: to fucking ruin someone's shit and to play a friendly game of make-believe. And you're all out of imagination. Oh no. Go through double doors, PS. The doors lock behind you permanently. Oh, flip and click. Oh. A mob of surly thugs is there to welcome you. PS, throw dead thugs through doors for dramatic entrance. Man, you wish you thought of that before you went in. That would have been so badass. Swap hats with one of the thugs and sneak by undetected. Oh shit. Suck. Oh. You're predictably detected almost immediately and are sucked right in the kisser in a very much non-undetected way. You suffer a loss of 1 vitality carat from your plug liquid. No. You suffer one loss, blah blah blah. You ask for your head back. PS combat operandi pulchritude. I can hear the Dragon Ball Z noise of, you know, when they power up. I can hear it. Oh. You're prepared to unleash your most devastating attack. The thugs cover in mortification. But you decide not to bring that noise just yet. You just go with Sleuth Diplomacy instead. Level 2 Sleuth Diplomacy. Oh, so cool. Lighting a cigarette. So cool. Oh, this is a lot of cash. The defeated surly thugs drop 14,250 spondulix. You pick up the loot and progress to the next level. Pick up windows and go up AD. Window. And up you grab the office window and the skylight and head up to your office window. You leave behind Problem Sleuth's office window because it is just too damn heavy and cumbersome. You go to the slot room. The doors unfortunately are locked. It will probably take about double your own considerable strength to bust through them. AD, feed MK some chocolates. You lob a hand grenade into MK's mouth. His blood sugar's level rises again. Now it's the ideal time to attack. Quick PI, fire! Oh. Look at them. Match made in heaven. I love this stupid squiggly hearts. Oh god. Bam. Pickle Inspector. Yeah. Seizes the opportunity and draws his key. He takes careful aim, but suddenly becomes distracted by that enchanting lady over there. Her beauty is like nothing he's ever imagined. He accidentally shoots Ace Dick, of course. Oh. Right in the dick? Ace Dick completes a successful auto parry. He takes the bullet directly in the gut. It's an incredibly painful and debilitating wound. Oh no. Smack MK with 2x4. That pairing didn't work out quite well, huh? You found MK with juicy pages from your... Oh my god, the blinking. Ah! You found MK with juicy pages from your romance novel, dealing moderate damage. The florid tales fill MK's bosom with rhapsodic passions. His emotions level rises. The rising meter drains his imagination, pulchritude and vim gauges. Oh, okay. Problem Sleuth reaches level 2. You're confronted with a nasty pincer formation of thugs and 2 frightening beasts. It appears the supply of malefactors is being persistently replenished from a realm rich through a sliding glass door. Thugs aggress. Bonk. The thugs take you to task with an array of bullied truncheons and roustabout clubs. You lose a few more vitality carrots. Agitation in the configuration of your pluck reliquary unsettles mysterious forces of communion from afar. Empathy. Charm break. Hysterical dame's empathy magpie begins to flap hard. What? That was never established before. What the fuck is an empathy magpie? She regains consciousness with an extra spring in her step. She's a few notches closer to maxing out in her charm break meter. MK battle technique. Hit the mattresses. Oh. Pulchritude is full. Your pulchritude stat surges. You'll need it to rally your boys. This is all a war. Combat on Parandi. Send in the clowns. Oh no. Hello, clowns. A stick absorbs the brunt of an outrageous honking floppy shoot assault. Several gumption wafers are depleted from your grit ciborium. Of course, the grit ciborium. Who does not know about the grit ciborium? The other 8 sticks report peacocks begin to squawk and I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? I'm getting angry. Get angry! Ah! Get the hell out of Dodge. It's a little overwhelming in there, and all the commotion was starting to make you feel a bit disconcerted. There's a switch over there on the wall. You give it an Askin's ogle. Point a machine gun through the skylight. Battle technique, fair shake. P.S. You give equal consideration to both sides of the argument. The diplomacy. The thugs drop 16,500 spondulakes, and the beasts drop 2 cured fiend muttons. You pick up the spondulakes and eat the muttons to restore your carrots. More thugs approach the sliding glass door. You simply close the door and lock it. The thugs cannot get in. Problem Sleuth. Next time, be sure to throw some corpses in ahead of you. You chuck some thug corpses into level 3 before making your entrance. Man, it was so cold-blooded. The beast, thugs, and hired muscle are probably thinking twice before fucking with you now. Against the wall is an elegant pair of French doors. AD, join other AD8 double doors. Looks like the still is percolating nicely. You go upstairs to join your double ally. Problem Sleuth hired a hired muscle onto your side. Levi is asking for 15,000 spondulakes. He agrees his brawn is at your disposal. Next. The thugs regrettably discover what it's like being on the wrong side of some good hard muscle. ADs both bust through doors. Your combined vim is sufficient for the task. Headbutt and impale Bobsticking AD. He is impervious to attacks again. Got to raise their blood sugar some more. Wow, this is such... The action is so good! Mobs the Kingpin successfully auto-parries. The chocolate ricochets off his massive head. It flies towards ship porthole. PI ogle switch until it implodes with distraughtness. Yeah, that idea is so silly, even you can take it very seriously. You just flip the switch instead. Oh, now they're on! Oh, it's green light, yellow light, red light. Next. What? Break. The grenade breaks through the port side red porthole. What the fuck is even going on now? What? Oh. Ah, okay. Phew. The chocolate finally emerges from the starboard side red porthole. Once the Kingpin receives the well-traveled chocolate in his aghast yap. Yeah, thinking of portals. Eddie, now headbutt and impale. Woof. Blood sugar. Now that his blood sugar has been compromised, you deal a fearsome blow of the business end of your wig. Anke takes minor damage. AD is down for a count. Oh. Just exploded little monsters. The ace digs arrived just a little too late for the rowdy rough and tumble action they craved. The hired muscle seems to have everything well in hand. He appeared to have made use of the French doors for slicing beasts in half. Half, I mean. He's collecting all the spoils as he operates, snatching up the prized spondylegs and muttons as they appear. Problem Sleuth seems irked by this conduct, as it was not part of the implied operating agreement in his view. The muscle's diplomatic skills could obviously use some polish. Above the ace sticks, the report peacocks become even more vociferous. Wow, this grim. Candy Mecha walked through portal. The capricious machine enters the portal with the dollhouse on its back. What? Dollhouse? What? What? Oh, yeah, it's in a dollhouse. Okay, I get it. The infinite number of geometrically downscaled Candy Mechas dumped the infinite number of dollhouses on the floor. Candy Mechas leave. What the fuck? Where's their B? No! Fractal Prospectus. Oh god, this is starting again. Accretion rate 4.1 histogram. Hazard mark contained. Very good. Remember, think small. Small like me. A B. Avoid 1-to-1 duplications, which will lead to unwelcome 100% matter accretions. And you keep hiving honey of a time. Don't show pro tips. It's clippy. It's clippy. Etc. The Fractal Prospectus opens automatically to warn you that a fractaline matter / energy accretion has occurred. You appear to be well within the limits of safety at a 4.1% accretion rate. The infinite summation honeybee professor seems pleased and offers a sage pro tip on responsible fractal management. PI, flee up spiral staircase and ogle whatever awaits you. Oh hell, it's another still air bust. You would have to be incredibly strong to move it out of the way, and as far as I remember, PI is not very strong. Problem Sleuth diplomatically asked Muscle to become permanent teammate. Despite his blunt tactics, you think the Muscle could have long-term value to the team. He issues a volley of curmudgeonly epithets. His character does not appear to have any depth or lasting appeal. ADs mount motorcycles. Fuck yes, this is one rude hog squad. Foes quake at the rumbling of your steel horses. P.S. This time throw chunks of beasts in ahead of you. Ew. So almost a horror terror. You advance to the next level. The beast chunks were sort of heavy, so you could only throw one in ahead of you. I think it was still pretty cold-blooded and intimidating though. Standing in your path is Argus of the Undead, Morthal Dryax and his bone guard mound. He's flanked by 2 hired muscles. Against the wall is a beautiful and piously decorated stained glass window. Deal motorcycle attack. The cycles take out the muscles. The defeated muscles drop 2 savory brute steaks and 31,000 spondulics. Candy mechas, don't show pro tips. Very well, be that way, asshole. Next, the fetal. Oh. Ew! Hired muscle is going for the spondylegs and the brute steaks. Oh no, hired muscle morphal molests his brainstem with a doldrum flagellum. The hired muscle is now undead. His alignment is now indeterminate. Oh no, hired muscle, no! PS battle technique brass tacks. You Levi the fee of 3,000 spondulics and summon a trifecta of mystical warriors. The great masters of brass, buttermilk stops rambling Jackson and molasses fats. They're all blind as a bat and full of piss and vinegar. Oh, the trio gets down to business. It's like a summoning of in Final Fantasy. The trio gets down to business. The horn-based onslaught establishes moderate damage to the foes. The frightened zombie muzzle flees upstairs. Morthol. Battle technique. Gnostic taint. Pew 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 pew! Shooting small skulls from the skull holes. Morphol Dryax shoots a lot of little skulls out of his skull. The chest trifecta is afflicted with an undead curse and banished from the physical plane. Bone Guard Mount. Aggress. The mount's savage hooves flick at Problem Sleuth's unlucky mug. PS endures significant carrot loss. Hysterical Dame's Charm Break. Charm Break! Meter is close to maxing out. She experiences a surge in attack power. HD Aggress. He scribble on the back of MK's head with the chains. Oh. PS level 5 Sleuth Diplomacy. Impromptu caucus. Oh. Oh no. It's kind of cool. Ah! Your allies weighing on the matter. Morthol is one hardy son of a bitch. It's going to take a hell of one attack to take him down. Next. Pickle Inspector has wandered back to the control room. There is a new window there which has captured his discerning uncle. He has time to bring out the noise, the pulchritude. No, not yet! Combat operandi, belly of the whale! The hurricane force winds drag the breeze indiscriminately into your mighty marine beast-like orifice. Nothing can withstand the suck of your awesome gut. Suck. Battle technique. Extortion! MK turns the tables of you and horns on your racket. He nullifies belly of the whale and sends the business right back at you. Ace Dick is pulled into Mops the Kingpin's generous tummy. In an act of desperation, Ace yanks the pins on his final 2 chocolates. The grenades detonate. All of your wafers have been depleted. Ace Dick is slain. No! Oops. Accidentally hit a different key. Suddenly stalls. Death has been waiting for you. He has poured you some tea. F. The report peacocks are flipping out. The ostentation drive is at capacity. One of your most brutal attacks is available for a brief window of time. Warhammer? Yeah. Ostentation drive. Double truffle, shuffle, trouble. Double truffle, shuffle. Trouble! Oh god, the way of the wiggle when I have to see it again. Wiggle, wiggle for me. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Dot, dot, dot. Oh shit. A topic customer himself, Morphol, is in awe of your synchronized jiggling bravado. Morphol Drax has been slain handily. Oh, it even does the Final Fantasy effect. Do it again. Yeah, sorta. Ace's sugary martyrdom in MK's gut has spiked his blood sugar to a near critical level. It is an ideal time for dealing major damage. Parry drop window through other window. Don't show pro tips. The recently muted infinite summation honeybee professor does not appear pleased with where this is going. AD throw teacup at death. You're so pissed at death that you throw your tea in disgust, but you catch a whiff of it and it smells way too good to throw. What is that? Darjeeling? God, it's delicious. You throw it to saucer instead. Put honeybee professor through the window first. Oh, it's wait. No, it's nah. The professor is irate with your hair-brained lack of discretion. You still can't hear his warnings though. It's just like yeah, the fuck. Startled, you drop the window into itself, knocking the bee out. Next. The window appears to be stuck in itself, knotted into a strange multi-dimensional reef. The accretion rate is at a dangerous level, but the degree of fractaline matter replication is in check due to the self-knotting structure. If any pressure was applied to the windows, it would likely force a critical reaction. This is to be avoided. Exhaling in relief, you accidentally hit a button on the control panel. Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Please. The bee is upset me. Oh no. This is not good. Oh. Explosion. Explosion. Smoke. Everything goes dark. Oh shit. Flufflu has been released from his black realm. I guess it's like Fluthulu, but whatever. All of Pickle Spectre's spark ash has been depleted from his metal samovar. Pickle Spectre is slain. No, not Pickle Spectre. Never Sprout's affinity crows flapping frantically. Her murder flux is fully charged. Chapter 11 of 22. Death ogles you. Delicious tea is politely offered. Death combat operandi 2 lumps. Sugar's offered with aggressive courtesy. Death stirs the hot beverage with his scythe. This is incredibly disconcerting. AD and PI challenge Death to win back your lives. You throw it down hard, cause that's just how Team Sleuth rolls. Death is intrigued by your offer. I like how PI is just so fucking whimsical. It's just AD is like, point! And PI is like, point. Click. Death clicks his ballpoint pen. Wait, I swore I had a ballpoint pen somewhere. I don't have a ballpoint pen, but I can do this. There we go. Immersion. Next. Puff. I hope he has a toys cut off by the panel, yeah. A stick slams down his head in disgust. Pickle Inspector rises boldly to the task. The Weasel King appears briefly in support and supplies PI with the mighty tactics of the Arbiter to even the score. Pi asks Death where Honeybee Professor is. You're just curious. It seems he's busy pollinating the afterlife. Next. That's pretty. Lettuce. Oh. Why does everything like come around?